What does yatra mean?
Journey.
Journey, that's right. Yatra means journey. What does snana mean?
Bathing.
Bathing. That's right, bathing. So what is the significance of this particular Snan Yatra? Anybody know? What are we celebrating here today? What is it that we're celebrating? It's a particular event that we're celebrating.
Lord Jagannath takes bath and then
Why is he taking a bath? Why is he taking a bath? Why is this bathing celebrated on this day in particular? I'm sure some of you know it. What is the bathing? What do we celebrate with the ceremonial bath typically? Yes! Who said that? Raise your hand. Yes, birthday. It's appearance day. So this is the appearance day of whom?
Jagannath.
Only Jagannath?
Baldev and Subhadra.
Only Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra? Sudarshan, that's right. Correct. You guys, you know everything. So Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra and Sudarshan appeared today. Now, you know, Krishna appears in Janmashtami, that's next month, right? So what is this appearance? This is the appearance of the form of Lord Jagannath. Do you know that? So, Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, they appeared today. Now, all these divine forms of the Lord, they exist eternally. Right? But we still celebrate their quote-unquote appearance, like a birthday of sorts, and there's always some nimitta. Nimitta means some mechanism or some transcendental reason why this happens, and some circumstances for them to appear. I lost my voice. I was screaming too loud. So everybody knows this pastime. I'm not going to get into the detail, but this pastime of King Indradyumna, it happened a long time ago. It happened in Satyuga. Satyuga is a long time ago. That led to the appearance of Lord Jagannath. And Indradyumna was told not to open the doors until and unless enough time is given for carving of the deity. But he couldn't wait, and he heard Vishwakarma was carving the deity, and he stopped for a moment and said, he got too impatient. He opened the door prematurely, and these so-called incomplete deities were there. So this happened in Satyuga. But does that mean that Lord Jagannath was not on earth before this Indradyumna pastime? He was there, right? What was he called? Before? Neelamadhav, that's correct. So he was known as Neelamadhav. He was always there. Now, this Neelamadhav form of the Lord is a little bit different from Jagannath form of the Lord. So, Lord Brahma, he lives a very long time, right? So for the first 50 years of Lord Brahma's lifetime, the Lord appears on this earth as Neelamadhav. And then in the second 50 years of Lord Brahma's lifetime, he appears as Lord Jagannath. So how old is our Brahma right now? Anybody know?
50 years and 1 day.
Yeah, he's 50 years old, that's right, and he's 1 day. So this is actually the first day of his 51st year going on right now. So his time frame is quite different from ours. His years are very long. Anybody know? Like his 1 hour is like 360 million years. Is his 1 hour.
1 moment is.
So his 1 minute is 6 million of our years. That's his 1 minute. So his scale is a little bit different. So Neelamadhav was there for 50 of such years, and Jagannath is going to be there for 50 of such more years. Many cycles of yugas. If you ever find yourself knocking on the door of Lord Brahma, hey, Brahmaji, please, I'm here to meet you. And he says, just wait a minute. You'll be waiting for 6 million of our years. So his scale is a little bit different. You have some idea. So when he was in the form of Neelamadhav, he was served by this tribal people known as the Shabras. And their leader, the king, was known as Vishwavasu. That's not his name, that was his title. Vishwavasu was the title given to the king of the Shabras. So now the deities we saw here, the deity of the Lord Jagannath in Orissa, and deity of the Lord Jagannath worshipped authentically all over the world, they are directly the Lord himself. They're not, of course, they're not idols. They're not a representation. He's the Lord himself directly. It's just a matter of us recognizing or not recognizing. So now, in the scriptures, deities can be made from several elements, or several items, or several materials. Does anybody know there's 8 materials actually that are authentic, that are considered authentic deity materials, 8 of them. Anybody know what those are? Stone, wood, metal, brass and metal. Jewel, that's right, that's the 4th one. Paint, that's 5. Mind, yes, you can make the deity out of mind. And you can make sand and mud also, so that's 8. So you can worship the deity with your mind. You just form the Lord's form in your mind, and that's the worship of the deity. Yes. So these are the 8 elements that are authorized that you can make deities from. Okay. So Lord Jagannath, thank you very much. Lord Jagannath is made of which material?
Wood. Wood from a special forest. Wood.
Wood from a special forest, that's right. Magical forest. But wood in general. So now, our Jagannath is made of also wood. Right? So, Jagannath is made of wood and he's painted, in the original Jagannath in Puri, is painted only with natural authorized pigments, like these natural colors. Alright? And Jagannath in Puri, in Orissa, is bathed on a daily basis. Just like here we bathe our Radha Sharal Bihari and Jagannath. In Puri, he's bathed on a daily basis. Now you can imagine, is it possible to bathe wooden deity with water that are painted with these natural pigments on a daily basis? Are they bathed directly? Do we bathe directly the large Radha Sharal Bihari on a daily basis? No. Who do we bathe? The small deities are known as Utsav deities. Utsav, the festival deities, yes, the chote ones, right? The chota deities. So in Jagannath Puri, who is the Utsav deity? In Jagannath Puri, the deity, Utsav deity is known as Madan Mohan deity. There is a Madan Mohan deity who is bathed on a daily basis. Who is the Utsav deity of Lord Jagannath? You see? So they also bathe the large deities, by the way, but they use a different mechanism. What they do is they bathe a mirror. So they place a mirror in front of the deity and then pour water on the mirror. It's really beautiful. So you bathe in the image of the Lord. It's very sweet. But once a year on this day of this Yatra festival, right, they bathe the large deities directly. And that's what we're celebrating here today. See? So now the water for this bathing comes from a special place called Suvarnakund. And these tribal Shabara people who go and they collect 130 large pots of water in a grand procession. See that, right? And the Brahmanas then come and sanctify the water with herbs and perfumes and prayers and mantras. And then on the next day, which is Yatra, they're bathing. So normally the deities are inside the temple throughout the year. This is the first time in the year they come out, and everybody can take darshan of these beautiful deities. And they're displayed out there. Generally, we don't like to be, when we take a bath, we go further inside. Right? We don't come out and take a bath. But the Lord is so kind, He comes out for everybody to take darshan. Even those who are traditionally not allowed to go into the temple. Now, because of this bathing, right, the natural pigments, they kind of wear out very quickly. The bathing goes on and it's really hot and the water is cool, and with all that, the natural pigments start wearing out. So generally, the Lord, He doesn't feel like He's camera ready. These days we have Zoom meetings or FaceTime or something, and I don't turn on my camera because I'm not camera ready. So the Lord also for some time is not camera ready yet. Generally, like even we, right? When we wake up first thing in the morning, we don't turn on FaceTime. It's like we're not presentable. Right? In fact, even our cameramen are only unlock because they don't recognize our face. We have to kind of put on our makeup and they will recognize us. So, to compensate for that, what does the Lord do? Or what do the devotees of the Lord do? On this special day, He also wears, and it was announced earlier, He wears a special Gajavesh. Gaja means elephant. Hathi, or it's also called Hathi Vesh. So you see that he wears this elephant vesh. And Jagannath and Baladev, they wear this elephant vesh to kind of, celebrate special another pastime. And Mother Subhadra wears a lotus dress. So they wear the elephant dress, and Mother Subhadra wears a lotus dress to celebrate that particular pastime. So what is the story behind this pastime? I'll tell you really quick. There's a great Ganesh devotee. His name was Ganapati Bhatta, a long time ago. And the king of Puri invited him to visit the Dham. This Ganapati Bhatta was a great scholar. And the king took him, after his meeting and everything, took him for darshan. It's traditional to take guests for darshan. Like over here when someone gets together in the office or something, and after their office work is done, it's traditional to take them to what they call happy hour, whatever, something, some girl's place, and they drink something. But back then the tradition was, you take all the guests to the beautiful temple of the Lord. Now, Ganapati Bhatta, being a great devotee of Ganesh, was very attached to the elephant form. When he saw the Lord's Jagannath form, he was kind of disappointed that it's not fully carved, and he thought, it'd be like a nice form, but it's different from what he expected. So then what happened, because he was somewhat disappointed, he smiled and took darshan respectfully, but he went away. And then that afternoon, the Lord took the form of an old Brahman and came to him and said that, just wait, after Snana Yatra today, you will see the form of the Lord in your favorite form, your choice. So then when Ganapati Bhatta came and he saw that this Hathi Vesh was offered, he became really ecstatic, and he became a very great devotee of Lord Jagannath. You see, so Lord Jagannath is very reciprocative like that. So that's a story that we find in one of their local Puranas in Orissa. So now what happens? After Snana Yatra, the paints have come off, right? So for 15 days, the deities are being painted. But they're also so what are they also doing in there?
They're sick, so they're taking medicines?
Yeah, they're recovering. They're convalescent. Srila Prabhupada writes to us in the letter, the convalescence period. Convalescence means when you're recovering from sickness. So all that bathing in the cold water in public and all that, you catch a cold. It's very easy to catch a cold when you're bathing in cold water like that. So they all get sick. Of course, the Lord can't possibly get sick. The sickness is something that happens in the material world. But the Lord, He exhibits that. You see, so that is what. And then they offered special herbs and medication, and they're put to rest. Of course, during that time when no one can take darshan, that's when they're being painted. Okay, so that's about a 15-day period. So every 2 days, one layer of paint is applied. There's 7 layers of paint applied to Lord Jagannath. So every 2 days, one layer. That accounts for 14 days. And on the 15th day, they do some touch-ups and finalization. And so then, on the 16th day is when the Lord comes out, freshly, repainted. That festival is called Nava Yovanam. Right? Anybody know that verse? Nava Yovanam? It's a verse in Brahma Samhita. Adyam Purusham Navayavana. Even though he's the oldest. Purana Purusham, but he's Navayavana. But he is the beauty of blossoming youth. So this is celebrating the blossoming freshness of his youth. So now, during this time, this is called Netrutsav. Netra means
Eyes.
And Utsav means
Festival.
The word Utsav, festival, comes from Sav. Sav actually means sadness or depression. And Utsav means something that lifts you above all your sadnesses. Like Tama. Tama means darkness. But Uttama means something that takes you above darkness. Uttama. Very Uttama, very nice. So Utsav means something that takes you above misery, above sadness, above depression. So if you engage in Krishna consciousness, all the time some Utsav is happening. Some festival. something colorful. No matter how depressed we may be, if we engage in Krishna conscious practices, these utsavas take a lot of the edge off that depression and they raise us out of it altogether if we follow it properly. So we should engage in this utsava. This is called Netrotsava, a festival for the whose eyes? Our eyes, that's right. It's a festival for our eyes. It's a festival for our eyes. You see, when you see the Lord so beautifully resplendent, it's a festival for our eyes. Now, anyone who takes darshan of the Lord after bathing and takes part in the Netrotsava, it is said they are freed from many, all the sins actually. All the sins are washed away. That's how kind the Lord is. So let's take part wholeheartedly for this Netrotsava that's going to happen later on this evening. Right? Of course, that's not a motivation to erase our sins. The motivation is that we engage in the love of God. When we engage in Krishna consciousness, the erasure of sins is a natural byproduct. That's not our motivation. Our motivation is to see the Lord and that the Lord sees us. We have to present ourselves to the Lord. My Lord, I'm here to serve you. So now, in addition to this festival, every 12 to 15 years, something special happens. When the Snana Yatra falls on the month of Ashad. So now during this time, the deities, they're kept hidden or not visible, not 2 weeks, but for 6 weeks. And this is the festival known as Navakalevaram. Navakalevaram means a new body. So this is when the deities are not just newly painted, but they're a new set of deities are carved from special wood. And the whole procedure takes months and months to do in preparation has taken place. And they're renewed completely, so it's called Navakalevaram. And there's a whole procedure for transferring the prana from one deity to the new deities and so on. It's a very elaborate festival with many ecstatic and deep, amazing pastimes. Of course, we can get into that, but just something to know. It's a very beautiful thing to see and witness in Jagannath. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada, way back in 1970, he was already giving us instructions on this important topic of taking care of Lord Jagannath. So in one letter he writes, regarding your second question, after being bathed, Lord Jagannath catches fever. And at that time, you may carry him along with Balaramji and Subhadra to my room for recovering. So you see, from the altar, you go to Srila Prabhupada's room. It's very sweet. During this time, up to Rath Yatra, any repairs may be made. Any repairs like paint is chipped, so you can touch up and do things like that. That's a recovery phase. In Jagannath Puri, during this recuperation period, the deities are completely repainted. That is especially in Jagannath Puri that this is done so. Then Lord Jagannath reappears on the day of Rath Yatra festival. During his convalescence, Bhoga is offered as usual, but no visitors are allowed to see the Lord. It's a quarantine. You're all familiar with that term now? Quarantine. When someone has COVID positive, you don't visit them. But you pray for them. Recover very quickly, right? But of course, you can get COVID. This is well before any of this stuff, COVID and all that. But Lord Jagannath also catches this fever. It's quite amazing. Now, this period when the Lord is not available is called Anavasara. Avasara means, anybody know what avasara?
A chance.
Avasara. Opportunity, that's the precise translation. Opportunity, avasara. It's an opportunity. So, anavasara means this period when there's no opportunity to see the Lord. That's why it's called anavasara period. Srila Prabhupada writes about this as well in his Chaitanya Charitamrita purpose. He uses this word anavasara. So, we all know Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent maximum time in Jagannath Puri, right? And during Anavasara, what did the Lord do? Did he just say, okay, well, there's no darshan, so I'm not going to take darshan of the Lord? No. What did he do? Did he just go without taking darshan of the deity form or any Lord? No? Yes, that's right. During this time, he visits the temple of the Lord known as Alarna. There's a temple of the Lord in Puri, Alarna. It's a very beautiful temple. And even today, you can see the place where Mahaprabhu lay on the floor in ecstasy. And his body was so vibrant with energy of love, it melted the rock. And you can still see imprints of the Lord's body on the melted rock. It's quite outstanding. So there is Alarna temple. You see, this is the pastime of the Lord missing the Lord. This is separation. You see, separation is known as Viraha. So Jagannath Puri is also known as Viraha Kshetra, the land of separation. And Mahaprabhu invites all of us who are his followers to worship the Lord in the mood of separation. My Lord, I'm so far from you. Please appear before me. Jagannath Swami, Nayana Vadagami, Bhavatume. Come in front of my eyes. It's a mood of separation. It's a very deep mood. There is no more intense love than that love that is expressed in deep separation. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shows that. Vaikuntha Dham is Aishwarya Kshetra. Vrindavan Dham is what Kshetra? Madhurya Kshetra. And Navadvip Dham is Audarya Kshetra. Audarya. So Madhurya means sweetness, Vaikuntha means opulence, and Audarya means magnanimity, mercy. Right? So these are different Kshetras. But in Jagannath Puri, all these elements are there. You know, his awesome offerings. He gets so many offerings, it's so opulent. So that Vaikuntha Aishwarya Kshetra is there in Jagannath Puri, in Purushottam Kshetra. The Madhurya is there in Gundicha Temple. Gundicha Temple is right there. It's Madhurya Kshetra. And of course, this is the place where Mahaprabhu spent most time, so it is Audarya Kshetra. So Jagannath Puri, all these tastes are available. You see? So we can celebrate that feeling right here. Everything is available when we celebrate the Snana Yatra of the Lord. So let's take it deeply. So after the 17th day, we celebrate what?
Yatra.
In Gitanapri, right? Yes, so Rath Yatra. And the Rath Yatra is also another very beautiful pastime, right? When the gopis are pulling the chariot of the Lord. And so when we pull the chariot of the Lord, we can also request the Lord, my Lord, please let me pull you into my heart. Let me get in the mood that I'm trying to pull you into my heart. Even though I may not be deserving, please enter my heart. And when you're in my heart, then all reciprocation, spiritual love, spiritual ecstasies are possible. Then I can be reestablished in my constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. You know. So Lord Jagannath, the deity, is very reciprocative. And before I wrap up, I'm going to wrap up in about 5 minutes or so. Let's tell a quick story. There's a true story, it just happened a few years ago. There is one devotee, one Mataji, living in New Delhi. Anybody know the temple, the name of the temple in New Delhi? That's right, Radha Parthasarthi. Very interesting name, by the way, Radha Parthasarthi. Anyway. So she was serving there. And one day, she would make daily offerings. She has Jagannath eating in her home also. She would make offerings daily. One night, Jagannath appears in her dream. And he tells her, these devotees are not taking good care of me. You better do something about it. He comes in her dream and he tells her this. So now, she had never seen the Lord in her dream. So she just woke up because it was a vivid, clear dream. And she was so happy, my Lord, you came in my dream. And then she realized that the Lord is telling me something that way. These devotees are not taking care of me. And I got to do something about it. But she didn't know, right? She's like, wow, which deities are these? We have temples all over the world. Which I don't even know who to talk to. Right? We have ISKCON temples all over the world. At least, I mean, it could be Noida temple, it could be the Delhi temple, maybe Nasik, Calcutta. I don't know. So then she prays, my Lord, please give me some hint. Please give me some hint. At least I can try to get through the devotees, if they're in Delhi or Calcutta, just let me know. So then next day she gets another dream. And the Lord asks, hey, they're not taking care of me. Did you tell them? She said, my Lord, I don't even know which form, like which locality you're talking about. If you give me some hint, I can go and tell them. So he said, well, just step out of the temple and you get an idea. Now, in the dream itself, she's in the temple, and while she's still in the dream, she walks outside into the city, and she sees the city scene, and she sees these streets and these signs, and she's never seen the city before, and she has no clue. And she's looking. And she sees some signs, like road signs or like shops and billboards, and it's all written in some foreign language. It's not English, it's not Hindi and Indian language. She couldn't make out. She said, oh my God, what on earth? Where am I? How am I supposed to get through to these people? I don't know what continent I'm on. So she looks, and then someplace in some English word she sees something, Estonia. Estonia. Then she wakes up again. She never heard of Estonia. She saw some city, a country. She Googles it. All right? When's the last time you heard Google coming in a pastime story? Anyway, so she Googles it. This is real. It happened. And she looked up, it's a country. Not only is it a country, there's an ISKCON temple there. And she finds out, she obviously gets the temple president's phone number. She makes an international phone call on WhatsApp or whatever it is. And she gets through to him. And she's like, wow, this is a country in Europe. So she calls the temple president, and she says, Prabhu, you guys are not taking care of Lord Jagannath. He's like, Hare Krishna Mataji, how can I help you? You're not taking care of Lord Jagannath. What do you mean? Who are you? He said, no. Lord Jagannath came in a dream and told me you were not taking care of him properly. And he went and inquired with the Pujari department, and they confirmed it. Actually, they had a big Kirtan Mela for several days, and it turns out that the Jagannath, they worshiped very nice during the Kirtan Mela, but the Kirtan Mela lasted so long that people were so tired. For 2 days, they hadn't been worshiping nicely, those deities. So he got back on the phone and said, actually, you're right. For 2 days, we haven't made proper offerings or anything, not taken care of properly, but we will make sure we'll take care of it. Thank you for sending a message. It's amazing. The Lord is so kind. He spoke through you. Wonderful. Okay, so she was happy. He was happy. Started making. That same night, Lord Jagannath came again and prayed. Hey, I told you to take care of this. They're still not taking care of me properly. What do you mean? I told them to take care of you, and they said they're going to start. Yeah, that's fine. But where are my mangoes? I want mangoes. It's supposed to give me mangoes. Okay, I'll relay the message, right? So the next morning she calls him and she said, Prabhu, yes, we're serving Jagannath. Yeah. But where are the mangoes? You're supposed to offer him mangoes. And then he's like, I think you got the wrong number or something. This is Estonia. Mangoes don't grow here, neither do they import them. Right? There's no stores here. The only mango you can see if you Google it, and that's the only mango you can see. You can't offer. She said, no. Jagannath specifically asked for his mangoes. So then the president went and he checked with the devotees. And one of the pujaris said, yeah, actually, during the Kirtan Mela, one devotee came from the UK with a whole box of mangoes and somebody just left it on a shelf. Maybe that's what meant for Jagannath. And they actually went and found the box and then they offered the mango. So you can imagine, and finally got back and said, thank you, Mataji, for letting us know about the mangoes. So you can see the deity of the Lord reciprocates. If we offer our heart to Him, why not? The Lord is here with us every day. He's performing His pastimes. He's a miraculous pastimes. For one who has faith, no miracle is necessary. We don't need miracles when you have faith. And for one who has no faith, no miracle is sufficient. We see miracles every day when we interact with the Lord. So let us give ourselves completely to the Lord. He said, the Lord has very big eyes. What is He looking at with His big eyes? He's looking at our hearts. He's looking at how much of ourselves we give to Him. We all have energies to give to the Lord, different energies. We all have our time, which is a big energy. You're all giving that valuable Sunday afternoon time to the Lord. That's a big part of our energy. We have our strength to come, our bodies here. We have these dresses we wear, and we bring some offerings to the Lord. These are all different energies that the Lord has given us. And He's looking with His big eyes, how much you're all giving back to the Lord. His Excellency said, the Lord doesn't see what you give. He sees what you keep. He sees what you're holding back for yourself. So let us give ourselves completely. Let us not hold back when we give to the Lord. Let us not hold back when we're opening our hearts to the Lord. We can give some offering to the Lord as much as we can. Some of us have been blessed with massive amounts of energies. Some of us have more time than others. Some of us have more wealth than others. And we can give as much as we can. The more we give, the more the Lord reciprocates. There's no question about it. He's very reciprocative, especially Lord Jagannath. I have heard so many testimonies from so many devotees that when they gave to Lord Jagannath, they were never in want for anything. So let us give ourselves to the Lord completely. This is the ultimate in surrender. Don't hold back. Trust the Lord that whatever happens is the mercy of the Lord, and whatever energies that we have been given access to, we can use in the service of the Lord. When you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
we're praying that my Lord is engaged in your service. Let us engage ourselves in the service of the Lord on this very special day and look forward to the Yatra and the grand Jagannath Swami ki
Jai.
Jagannath ki
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Hare Bol.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
No signal. HDMI port. 1. Check the cable connection and the settings of the source device. 2. Press the source button below to select the connected source.
My laptop was here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, he said he recommended chanting 2 prayers before you do something. I don't know if you know this, to make it especially successful. So let's do that. We can say it responsibly, okay? Om.
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 Jnana.
Ajnana.
Timirandhasya.
Timiraganasya.
Jnananjana.
Jnananjana.
Shalakaya.
Salakaya.
Chakshu.
Chakshu.
Unmilitam.
Tam.
Jena.
Yena.
Tasmai.
Tasmai.
Shri.
Shri.
Gurave.
Gurave Namah.
Shri.
Shri.
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya.
Manobhishta.
Manobhishtam.
Sthapitam.
Sthapitam.
Jena.
Yena.
Bhutale.
Bhutale.
Swayam Rupa.
Namrupa.
Gatamayam.
Adamayam.
Dadati.
No
Dadati.
signal. HDMI port. 1. Check the cable connection and the settings of the source device. 2. Press the Samsung account. Jagannath.
Can we do
HDMI
something
port.
about that?
Source button.
Can we just turn it off?
Turn it off.
Is it on? Okay, good. Thank you. Hare Krishna again.
Hare Krishna.
So I was thinking this, Madan Gopal was telling the story. I was thinking that, the woman, where was she? Delhi, yeah. And she was talking to the devotees in Estonia. So I was thinking that one thing that Lord Jagannath was saying, you're not serving me properly, was I thought he was going to say, you're not doing Rath Yatra. That's what I thought. It didn't come out that way. But we didn't need a dream for that, because you know what? Part of the regular observation and regular worship of Lord Jagannath, guess what it is? Rath Yatra. Yeah, you don't need a dream. And Lord Chaitanya, he said something very, very poignant, very special. He said, Bharata bhumite hoila manushya janma jar janma sartaka kori parapa upakara, which means those people who are born where? Bharat Bhumi. In India, but also the whole world.
Yeah.
Their real purpose is to do something that is uplifting. Upakara means bringing people's consciousness, people's hearts, people's minds high, not to become degraded or low. So he says that's the job of all of us. But you know what? Not many people actually do it. But it's a wonderful thing that in Philadelphia, and in other cities, but also in Philadelphia, that this Rath Yatra celebration has been going on for, this is going to be I think the 15th year in this cycle, where this upakar, encouraging people to become more aware of their spiritual identities so they can make progress to go back home, back to Godhead, and free themselves from the cycle of birth and death is going on. So you get credit for that. And one thing also is to know that all over the Hare Krishna movement, at least in the United States, the Philadelphia Yatra is considered like pretty much up the top. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which is, when if you want to please Krishna, one good way to please Krishna is also to please his devotees. So if the devotees are saying that, then it must be pleasing to Krishna also. So every year we do this, and this year we're also going to do it. It's a little bit of a challenge because, it requires lots of energy, as Madam Gopal was saying, lots of energy, lots of volunteers, and lots of Lakshmi, cash. Usually it's about, you know what the budget is? Anybody have any idea? It's like, it's like that, $75,000, $80,000. And we know this was a bad year for a lot of financial things because of the COVID and because of the stuff like that. But you know what? Lord Krishna is the source of all finances, and he's the source of everything. So if he wants, he can do it without any problem, and he can engage us in making sure it happens. So once a year we go through this, and one should think that this is a good opportunity for us because we all have expenses in our lives. Most of those expenses, if we pay for our car payment, or pay for our mortgage, or pay for our rent, or pay for our food, it maintains us. But that will not help us make spiritual progress. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Jagannath karmanyo Yatra lokoyam karma bandhana, means that all the work that you do in this world, if we just do it for our personal satisfaction, you know what happens? Yeah, anybody know?
Binds.
Lokoyam karma bandhana means it binds us here to this material world. Taratam karma kodeya mukta samna samachara. Mukta samna. But if you do that work for Krishna's satisfaction, then you know what happens? It turns the material into spiritual. Just like an expert electrician can take electricity and turn it from cold to hot because of their expertise. So are we going to pass out these cards now? Should we pass out these cards? These nice devotee ladies are going to be passing out cards. We're going to ask people if you'd like, no pressure, but if you'd like to make a donation or a pledge for this year's Rath Yatra. It's something a little bit like taxes. Do you pay taxes? Does anybody here pay taxes? Does anybody here pay taxes? Oh yeah, Chaitanya Chandra. So there's something similar to it. What are the similarities? And there's also differences. What are the similarities? Come on, I'm asking. And this is just facetious. Yeah, you gotta give it, right? And if you don't, what happens? You're in trouble, right? Yeah. What's that?
They come and take it anyway.
Yeah, they take it out of you, they garnish your wages. Yeah. So guess what? Nobody's gonna garnish your wages if you don't give today. Nobody will. But, you're forced to give in taxes. But what is the result of that? What do you get out of it? Where does that money go? Well, there's so many wars and so many other things, right? Which we don't have to go into detail. But it's the benefit is very, very limited. This whatever you give here is completely voluntary. And it's got to be that way because all of our original relationship with God is one of love. God is not going to force you to serve Him. He allows you to do it or not to do it. But for those who do it, he gives great reward. Let me tell you, I was looking through the Srimad Bhagavatam this morning, because I just found out today we're gonna have to talk about this stuff today. But there's quite an interesting verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It talks about charity. I don't know if you've heard this. This is quoted from the Smriti Shastras by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Does anybody here give charity? Anybody? Nobody. Nobody gives charity? Oh, there, a couple of people. Yeah, we give charity, okay. So, oh, by the way, the Rath Yatra committee was so forward thinking that, sometimes people give charity through their work. There's something called Benevity or something, that your company matches it. So the Rath Yatra committee made a separate corporation that's a cultural corporation, because sometimes the people who match don't like to give to religious corporations, just for the Rath Yatra. So if anybody has one of those kind of arrangements where their company will match it, we have a special corporation, Rath Yatra Corporation, that can take your donation and allow your corporation to, your place of employment, to double it, or to match it as much as they do. Yeah. So let me say, look, you have cards? Think about it. Think about it. You don't have to say today, but if you want to say today, that's fine. Here, let me say something here. Money given in charity to a suitable person is guaranteed bank balance in the next life. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given in charity to a non-Brahmin, or somebody without Brahminical qualification, the money is returned in the next life in exactly the same proportion. I don't know if there's any business people here. Pay attention. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmin, the money is returned double. If the money is given in charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmin, the money is returned 100,000 times. What was that? Did you hear that one? Did you get that? Those people who are business people, you think about this. What was that? How many thousand times?
100.
Okay. And if the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who knows the factual goal of the Vedas, which is to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, then it is returned. Any guesses? What's that? Unlimited. Unlimited response. This is a really good opportunity today, right? A very good opportunity. So think about it. We're thinking about it. Okay, good. So, the Rath Yatra is going to go on anyway. It's going to go on. So it's just a matter of how wonderful you want it to be. And it's up to us. It's up to us how wonderful you want it to be. I think, they had the Pope come here maybe 8 years ago, and they shut down Ben Franklin Parkway. And it was quite the Pope's a representative of God, of course. But here we know Lord Jagannath is God himself. What kind of parade and celebration should be given for God himself? Really? Really. We don't want to skip. Sometimes people say, well, why spend money on flowers? Why don't we make plastic flowers? Nah. Would you give plastic flowers to somebody you love? We want it should be wonderful, beautiful flowers. They do this rose parade in California every New Year's Day, I think, and they spend probably millions of dollars on the roses. So we could spend a bit on the flowers for the Jagannath, which is usually we spend about $4,000 on the flowers. Yeah. You know how much we spend on the cart, the Rath Yatra cart? This year it's going to be more because the diesel fuel is high to deliver the cart. We're only doing one cart this year, though. Chaitanya Jivan Prabhu, who many of you know, who really was instrumental in rejuvenating and starting the Rath Yatra again. He insisted we do 3 cards. But we were a little worried this year because it's right after the pandemic and so many things. So we decided on 1 card, there's one big, gigantic card the devotee in Montreal brings. It's gigantic, and we're getting that card. So 1 card. So we're cutting back a little bit on the expenses, but still, it's going to be a fabulous parade. So if anybody wants to start giving donation or give pledges, I could read them, or not. If you don't want me to read them, that's okay. You're going to give them to me now. Oh wow! This is just like this. So many. So we should show a little clapping or something, or what should we do?
You should read the names.
You want me to read the names? Should we read the names?
Yes.
We just have like another 5-10 minutes. That's okay. Dr. Nina and Vishal. Check. Oh my God.
There you go.
$5,000.
There you go.
So I told you about Jagannath. Yeah, he's got potency. Oh wow. Okay. Amita Pankaj. Yes, did I say the name right?
Yeah.
108.
Oh.
Vamana Prabhu. Is that you, Vamana? Yeah. That's 501.
There you go.
Oh, here's another. Hold on to your hats. Kaivalya Prabhu and family. 5,000.
There you go.
We're making progress here, folks. We may make the goal, I think, Darshan Mode, also known as Dave, right? 251. Oh, by the way, I have a few gifts. So there's some gifts outside for those donors. There's a Jagannath emblem that I think you can wear. I'm not sure. I also have some books and some other things if you'd like to look. So, Magic Quran, 108. Nikunja Gopika, 5,001. Niharika, 108. Harini, okay, these are the whole family getting involved here. I see. Harini, 108. Thank you. Pormita Dwara. Did I say it right? Pormita? 251. Sita, Anish, and Anika. Oh, this is a family affair, yeah. 5,000. 5,000. I'm gonna take a little break here because we're getting a little hot. Oh, look, see this? The Charanamrita that's going. Before I forget, we've been talking about Lakshmi and stuff like that. Lakshmi is always at the feet of who? Narayana. Oh, look, Jagannath also. Brahma, Shambhu, Brahma, Ganesha, but also there's another kind of donation we're looking for, and that's for volunteers. Because it takes a lot of effort to put on this festival also for the pleasure of Jagannath. So one thing that we've been a little bit lax in the past, and this, can you stand up for yourself, Jenny? Please, if you don't mind. Yes. Mother Sojanya and her husband and devotees in Bensela have been doing a prasadam stall. I mean, there's a fabulous free feast. We usually serve prasadam food that's been sanctified by offering to God to 5,000 people. But in addition to that, thank you. In addition to that, there's a food prasadam booth where they serve. What do they serve? You know what dosa? Anybody know dosa? You like dosa?
Yeah.
Dosa prasadam? Yeah. Another and many other things. But they've been doing it a little bit single-handedly lately. So I have a list of volunteers on the day, which is Saturday, of helpers that she needs. This is Saturday, September 24th. Actually, I'd recommend if anybody who can, take the day off before, the Friday before, because there's flower garlands to string, there's vegetables to cut, but then on the Saturday, set up stall, she needs 4 people between 8 and 10 down right in front of the art museum. 1 hour each. 4 persons, 1 hour each on Saturday morning. Do you want to grab the people now, if possible? I know maybe it's a little intimidating. Do you have one person, one volunteer? Easier to give money though. One volunteer. Who's that? Hey, Haribol, thank you. Can we get you? Here's another volunteer. Hare Krishna. Yes. Any other volunteers? This is Saturday morning, September 24th. I see. Two. What's that? It's setting up. Yes.
And for serving too.
And for serving too.
I don't want to mess up her food, so I can't cook, but yeah.
She knows how to keep things going good. She knows how to do it. Very nice. Okay. Suma and Hans Sharma and family, right? 351. Dronacharya Prabhu. 501. Rajiv. Doesn't say Rajiv. There's lots of Rajivs around. So Rajiv. 80. We don't hear where's the clapping? You lost your enthusiasm. This is Mother Vindyavali and family. 1500. Vrinda Pandey. 108. Ajay Aurora. 108. Oops. I'm sorry. Atulya Harinam Prabhu. Where's Atulya Harinam? Oh, there he is. 501. Ram Shyam. Right here. And family. 501. Chomki Malik. Did I say it correctly? Chomki Malik. $20 we gave it. Thank you. Bishan Baumik. Or Bidan Baumik. 51. Ashim Korununitai. 51. Abik Bishbash. 108. Anonymous, 501. Amit Singh, 108. Prasenjit Sharma, 11. Rashmi Ranjan, 51. B, just B, just B. 20. Manilal Govan, aha. Nandadulal Prabhu, 501. Rajiv Arora. What's that marked? It's not marked. Probably just 20 here. No, thank you. Thank you. And anybody else? Anybody else? That's it? Very nice, very nice. If you don't want to have your name and you'd like to give later, that's still okay. They'll be accepting donations all the way until the Rath Yatra, which will be on what day is the Rath Yatra? If you remember?
24th September.
September 24th, yeah. And think about taking the day off on Friday. Actually, the Philadelphia Rath Yatra, we usually have like 9 different preparations for the feast. Can you imagine? You know, we make this dry fruit laddu. And then is Yatin Patel or Shraddha Patel? Are they here? What's that? Anyway, Yatin makes every year. He makes like 2,000 cups worth of Srikan. Oh my God! I think we should just give a round of applause for that. This year, last year we didn't fry things at the site, but this year we want to fry. We begin frying at the site again, fresh. Usually we do vadas. This time we want to do Mysore Monda. You know Mysore Monda? You know Mysore Monda?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll probably Karela chip. You know Karela chips? Bitter Karela. So I'm going to need 2 volunteers to set that up. This is on morning 8 to 10 on Saturday. If you want to see me, I'm not going to pressure you now because it's 7 o'clock. And I'd like to thank you all for giving your heart and for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath. And you know, Lord Jagannath says in Bhagavad Gita, same Krishna, Jayata ma prapadyante tanstataiva bhajamya. As you surrender it to me, He gives you. He rewards you accordingly. So thank you all very much for your support and your help in any way you can. Even just to come and chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam. If you can do some volunteer service, that's great. If you can do some financial support, that's great. But all of that is wonderful. All of that we appreciate, and all of that Krishna will be very much appreciative of your involvement in service. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Now it is time to let Jagannath take rest.
You said that you just you're going to visit him again on July 30th, right?
Yes.
July 30th is my birthday.
All right, so you're definitely going to come.
Oh, maybe just the biggest time.
Yeah.
Hold for a second. In